This is the fun part, okay? I now create the space. Can I create space for you? Can I change your energy? No. Can I change your life?
No.
No. Who does? You do. So who creates the space in their life? We do. I now create the space for. And that's a very powerful mantra, because you can do this without all this other stuff when you wake up in the morning. I now create the space for.
And then you can put in your positives, right?
Well, you can. You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
I like to find the antithesis of each of these. So what's the opposite? Antithesis is the opposite. So what's the opposite of the word stuck?
Unstuck.
Okay. What's a positive word? What's the positive word? Freedom. All right, so let me ask you this. If I'm operating from the space that I believe I'm stuck with money, will I continue down that path? Great. If I believe that I am free, that I'm free to make it, free to spend it, free to give it away, will I continue down that path? Perfect. I now create the space for freedom. Does that feel good?
Yeah.
Totally. What's the opposite of being afraid?
Peace.
Peace. I now create the space for freedom, peace. I'm going to throw in some courage there, because that's my favorite flavor.
Gratitude is another one you get.
Ah, thank you. And if anybody here has read The Secret, gratitude is the key to all abundance. Being thankful for what you have brings you more. Okay, so I heard some other words.
I can't remember. Oh, abundance.
Abundance, okay?
Because that has to do with money. It also has to do with when you have abundance, you're able to give,
Mm-hmm.
and then that sends a ripple effect all over and comes back to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's my experience too. Well, multi-million-dollar charities come from abundance. People that are feeding other people in other countries and building schools. Right? So it's not money that's evil. It's the motivation that man attaches to it. It's how it's made. All right. So what's the opposite of overwhelmed? Okay. Clear. Clarity. Thank you. You're good at this. And so on. The opposite of desperation, confidence. You could even throw knowing in there. Natural knowing. Mm-hmm.
Trust.
Everybody in here is good at something. And it's because you're operating from a space of knowing. You know you can do it. So you take that and you apply it to a place where you could evolve, you can improve.
How about being present?
Being present, absolutely.
That's a big one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Learning that.
Present. Frustration, scared, courage. What are some other words that come up for you just on your own?
Content.
Content. Awesome.
How about letting go or surrendering?
Surrender. Is it taking some surrender for my girlfriend and I to move out of our house into an RV that was given to us and drive across the country and teach peace for free and just hope that everything works out? Like a little.
That's a little,
Like,
majorly.
yeah, there's a little bit of surrender in there.
That made me think of another word, faith.
Faith, thank you. Faith. Which is like knowing's little cousin.
Good.
Yeah.
Being trusting.
Trust. Trust is solid. Yeah. Trust is great. I love trust. We got room for one more. Action. Thank you. The masculine energy of just doing. There's so much power in that. As amazing as the law of attraction is, it's the female version of this. Law of attraction is an inbound motion. Creation is an outbound. That's the masculine. So whatever energy or emotion that you're operating from based on the law of attraction is what you attract, correct? Okay, so whatever energy or emotion that you have inside you when you act dictates the nature of your creation. So the law of attraction is not all there is to it, because everything in the universe has a pair. It comes in pairs. So there must be a law of creation if there's a law of attraction. So that's what this is.
So law of attraction is the female version
Yep.
of creation.
Yeah. Attraction and creation. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm. So, I used to be a competing snowboarder. That's one of my many lives. I used to jump off of 40-foot cliffs and do Misty Sevens over 80-foot tabletops that most people wouldn't drive a car over. That took a lot of courage. That took a lot of action. I couldn't meditate enough to learn how to put my legs under me after I was upside down and spinning. It's kind of a crazy feeling to look up and over your shoulder and there's the ground and a bunch of people standing around where you're supposed to land. And it's the longest 3 or 2 seconds of your life. It's an incredible feeling. It's bliss. It takes action. And so does creating world peace, and so does creating inner peace. It takes doing. So I love the law of attraction, but somebody's already teaching it. So this is one of the messages that we get to deliver. It's the law of creation. It's to do something about it.
You gotta like that one more because it comes from a place of something that you actually can control.
Perfect. I mean, you could sit around and hope for a peanut butter sandwich all you want. It's so much easier to just get up and make it.
It's just more difficult to try to figure out exactly the way to attract things.
Mm-hmm.
It's more active to just put something in action,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's going to happen after all. I mean, it's going to happen anyway.
Isn't that cool? It's so cool. So how crazy is it that we have like the law of human creation? It's like this is a historical time. Like we now understand why things happen. I mean, we're all powerful. We've all done things and been like, how the hell did I pull that off? It's like, well, how do I tap into that whenever I want? So by applying this equation, being like, you know what, I'm not feeling it today. Like, I could give myself 5 minutes, or I'll take a day. And tomorrow I'm inspired and I'm rested, my wheels are spinning.
I've done that.
You've done that.
And now I don't feel guilty for doing that because I know that I'm taking care of me.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can't, if I'm not taken care of, I can't take care of others that are around me, my family and all that. So I need that downtime to, like you say,
Gotta charge your batteries, man.
recharge my batteries.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean, the heart is the engine, the mind is the steering wheel, the body is the car. It needs gas. Cars are made of metal and they break down. We're flesh and bone. We need to rest. And when we do, we're observing the natural ebb and flow of life, just like the oceans. And when we come back, we're fully powered, ready to go. Heck yeah. So you want to finish this off. You're starting off, I now create the space for all of these things, okay? And we're going to say this out loud. But we're going to finish this off. You can repeat it 3 times, and you want to say it out loud. You're going to finish it off with, I arrive at this space at the perfect time. And the intention of that is, I'm not trying to bend nature to my will. I'm still observing the laws of the universe, that on the big picture, I'm still a speck. I'm still like an ant on this dot floating through infinity. So I've got to let the universe have a little time to, like, serve up my perfect wish. Arrive at this space at the perfect time. And ... So does that make sense?
Yes.
I arrive at the space. So you're working with the laws of nature, not against them. And sometimes the perfect time is before you even finish this whole process. I've seen it many times. And sometimes the perfect time is 24 hours from now. And sometimes it's 2 weeks. Okay, so just trust. Just trust that when you walk the path of love, it will take you to the space of love. Okay, you ready to say this out loud with me?
Yeah.
Cool. I now create the space for freedom, peace, courage, gratitude, abundance, clarity, confidence, knowing, presence, contentment, surrender, faith, trust. And I arrive at this space at the perfect time. Deep breath. And so I want you to close your eyes for a second. I want you to be in the moment of all of the things you just said. And I want you to see a single point of light in your heart. And I want you to see that glow. And I want you to see that fill the space of your body. Because that is your true self. All of the things that we released before, that's not our true self. That's just energy. It's passing, comes and goes. Our true self is this being. And all of the things you just said are characteristics of our true nature. I believe that we come from an angelic place. I believe that's where our true origin is. And I believe that we bring with us the energy from there. And that energy is of freedom, and it is of peace, and it is of courage and abundance. And by reminding ourselves that that's who we truly are, that's what we'll create. And by releasing the things that we're allowed to feel but aren't really us, we can heal ourselves.
Never said open your eyes.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Okay, open your eyes. But do you get that? That this isn't something we're getting from outside? That this is like, it's like a garden. And if you nurture this, this will grow. And so is that. It's a crappy garden full of weeds. And if you keep feeding it, that's what will grow. So by clearing and nurturing your garden, this is what will grow. And our lives are, what's that? Okay. And the garden of our lives is pretty fruitful right now. In every aspect of our lives, we're physically healthy, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, in our environment and in our relationships. I'm not at the highest that I'll ever be, and I'm not better than anybody else, but in my life right now, this is the healthiest I've ever been. So this whole love thing is really working out. And I want to share this with people to show them how easy it really is. So one more thing that we'll do, that I like to do, and even though I'm not, not technically Catholic anymore, I was raised Catholic, but still like the whole Christ thing. He still really did a lot of cool things. One of the things that he did was before he passed away, he said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." How crazy is that? How high of a level of consciousness do you have to send forgiveness to the people who just put nails in your hands? That's, if you hear the term Christ consciousness on Facebook or wherever it's getting thrown around, that's Christ consciousness. To be able to send love to something that was sent to destroy you, that's how you know you've healed. That's how you know you're a master. That's how you know you've got it together. So I would like to thank you Thank you for showing up in my life to teach me something that nothing else could. Money is one of the best ways to learn about energy exchange. I've found it's just way easier sometimes to just have a clear agreement, exchange energy in that way, and move on. So, how interesting is that? This thing that's been so materialized and so demonized in our society could be one of our best teachers ever. It might teach us someday that we don't really want it or need it. At some point, we might move past this and we go, you know what? This is more detrimental to us because of these things than if we just, developed free energy or solar or whatever it is that moves us into an abundance-based economy. Who knows? But we won't learn it if we don't go through it. And this is the same process as, childhood and high school and marriage and relationships. So we can't learn it until we go through it.